Morning. I had to pull over after my last delivery because I had to. Because I want to say something right quick. I'm gonna take my little break. I'm gonna get up and stretch my legs because I've been having some what they would call blood clot issues with my legs. But that's not why I pulled over. I pulled over to get something off my chest. And like I said before a long time ago in other videos, I get inspired, I get inspirations. And when I do, if I don't express myself or get it out, I usually forget. And, you know, when I have the right wording to say something, if I don't get it out, I'll forget later on. I'll be like, damn, I wanted to say something, or I'll forget how to say it. So let me get right into it. So you all know I have these puppies, right? She gave birth to 10. We lost 2 the first 2 weeks by her rolling over on them by accident. You know, I got to go to work. I can't be home to watch her. She's a first-time mom. She's only a year and a half. She did great. Nala, my Cane Corso, is an excellent mom. We have 8 puppies. We started with 4 boys and 6 girls. Now we got 5 girls and 3 boys, right? Okay. They're 6 weeks old now. They're almost ready for their new homes. I had a partner, a man that I've known for over a decade, well over a decade. And we met through a mutual friend when I used to work at this club called Pinups. And I was one of the period in my life, many periods, where I was losing my place, and I was going through problems and threatening with homelessness, like, you know, the cycle that I used to have in my life very often. I had 2 dogs at the time. I had 2 Presa Canarios, okay? They're Spanish Mastiffs. Cane Corsos are Italian Mastiffs, and Borobols are South African Mastiffs, just so that you guys know. So I was dealing in Presa Canarios at the time. I met this guy. We'll call him E. We'll just call him E. And he's older than me. He's an older man. I met him through a friend, one of the DJs at Pinups, because I had these 2 big dogs, and not many people know how. When I say not many people in my circle anyway, I don't have a circle, but not many people, you know, big dogs are a challenge. Most people don't know how to handle big dogs. Most people are afraid of the big dogs. So when I was losing my place, it was a house I was living at. The man that gave me that house, I've blown so many opportunities. I could have bought that house for $12,500 tax, what he owed in taxes. He ended up dying. He left me one evening and died 14 minutes after leaving me right before his 42nd birthday. His name was James. He was married, separated. Make a long story short, I didn't take advantage of that, and I didn't get that house, but it was a bungalow over there on Lockwood Drive off Avon Avenue on the West End. It was a small, cozy little 3 bedroom or 2 bedroom den, big porch, huge yard, fenced yard, bungalow on the West End. I failed to take advantage of. I was ignorant. I failed to take advantage of that, and I was depressed, and I failed to take advantage of that opportunity. Make a long story short, after he died, I ended up having to leave. Again, I could have purchased that house, which was his plan, and I didn't. But I had 5 dogs. I had the space for it, I had the yard for it, and I used to rescue dogs. I had my own dogs, and I would rescue neighborhood dogs. So I ended up with 2 Presa Canarios. The drug dealer that owned them died. And so I had a boy and a girl, Buddha and Buddy Lee. Her name was Bella. I named her Buddha because I already had a boxer named Bella. And so my friend at Pinups introduced me to this guy. We'll call him E. That's the one that I do the dogs with, that I was doing the dogs with up until today, up until this weekend. And at the time, because I was going through what I was going through, I told him, look, pay off what I owe Georgia Power, which was like $150, and I'll give you my boy, Buddy Lee. But I don't want to give you Buddha, because she was an import. She was a very strikingly beautiful brindle Presa Canario. She was a serious Presa Canario, and I didn't want to give her away. I said, but hold her for me. Anyway, fast forward, I don't know how many years ago. That's maybe 14 years ago. So this is the guy, we'll call him E. This is the guy that I do dogs with, right? Because he was one of the very few people that I know of that are into big dogs, whether it's Pressas, Cane Corsos, Borobols. Um, and when I say into, I'm gonna keep it 100. He's a backyard breeder. He gets a bunch of very, very expensive dogs, keeps them in his yard. He has 2 houses that I know about. He probably has more houses, but he's a trap guy. He's not a boy. He's a grown ass. Like I said, he's older than me, but he's. I'm not gonna give too much information because that's not my point here. Is not to blow up his spot. My point is simply to say, he's not broke or poor. He's been a hustler all his life. He's kind of disabled physically, but he's a married man, and I've known him when he had mistresses living in his house. I've been knowing this man for many years and watched him and him go through a lot of drama, Anyway, long story short, he and we've only ever dealt with each other via the dogs. I was homeless when I was homeless that time years ago, and I was living in my Jeep, showering on Camp Creek at LA Fitness and hanging out at Starbucks all day. I would park in his driveway at his house over there off of by Lakewood Amphitheater, and I would park, and my 2 Pressas and his dogs would be there, and they would pretty much protect me. I would park in his driveway and sleep, and I pretty much just lived in my car in his driveway for almost a year. Anyway, fast forward, he made a lot of money off of Buddy Lee, which is my male Presa Canario. He used Buddy Lee as a stud. He had a female Presa, and they made like 3 or 4 litters, and he made a lot of money off those puppies. I never asked him for any money. I never asked him for a puppy. I never asked him for anything. He basically came up and had a good blessing off of my awesome fucking male Presa Canario. So when I finally got a job, got my shit together and got a place, I got Buddha back. I got my Presa female back. All right. That being stated, so me and this dude have been dealing in dogs for quite some time. He's mostly benefited off of knowing me and the dogs that, because of my fucked up situations that I've always found myself in over the years, he's benefited because he's used my dogs for breeding, right? I haven't benefited financially at all. I know, I'm almost 100% positive I don't have any proof other than her breasts have been enlarged. I went away to North Carolina once when I was homeless to stay with one of my half-sister. That didn't work out, came back in 2 months. Buddha, my female Presa, appeared to have had kids. Her breasts were hanging. She looked like she had babies. He claimed she didn't. Of course, I think she did, and he sold all of them. Long story short, didn't say nothing. It was like, oh, well, if he did, he did. That was years ago. So now I'm into Cane Corsos, what people call Cane Corsos, Cane Corsos, right? So I was supposed to get a house last year. It didn't work out. I left my apartment in Vinings and ended up having to go. I was gonna go get a house with my daughter and her baby daddy. They had issues. I moved in with her and it didn't work out. And in a couple of months, I had to leave. And I got this apartment that I just got, a small 2-bedroom apartment. So because of all of that, I had gotten Nala before I left Vinings, but because my situation didn't work out, I asked E to hold Nala for me, because in this house, the main house, not the trap house, to hold Nala for me in his yard. Now, when I say hold her, this man is a backyard breeder. He doesn't give a fuck about dogs, and he told me this Saturday evening. The reason I'm making this post is because what transpired between us this Saturday evening, the day before Father's Day. This man, I've always known him to be a backyard breeder, but it's worse than I thought. Okay, recently in the last 5 months, 2 of his litters, one from a full bred, Buddha's, my sister, Badu's dog's sister, Bailey, I gave to him for $1,200, the $1,200 that was stolen from me from my last job. Make a long story short. So I sold him Bailey for the low, okay? Bailey was gifted to me, and I sold by the parents of my former Cane Corsos. I sold him to my homeboy E, and we thought she couldn't have babies because we thought she couldn't have babies, but it turned out she could. So she had a litter, and he left her out in the yard of the trap house yard, and all 8 puppies died. E, my so-called dog business partner, left them in the yard. I told him, bring them in the house. He didn't listen. They all died. because number one, first time mom, she neglected them. She felt scared. She's in the yard. You have to nurture animals. You can't just assume they're animals. He said, they have instincts. She'll raise those puppies. No, you got to bring them in. You got to give them shelter. You got to give them peace. You got to take care of them. He didn't do that. They died. His Boerboel, full-bred, beautiful tan-colored Boerboel, had a beautiful litter of puppies. They all died. I rescued one. I tried to rescue one. Then he sold it to his cousin. I had to give the dog. I'll show you. I have video footage of me trying to save this puppy. Before its eyes were even open. I gave it to his cousin. His cousin gave it to some bitch. 2 weeks later, not even 2 weeks later, the Boerboel died. So when I found out Nala was pregnant, Nala was not supposed to get pregnant. Nala was not supposed to get pregnant by his half Boerboel, half Corso. Nala was supposed to first get pregnant by my sister's dog, my nephew dog, Badu, full-bred, awesome Corso. Anyway, of course, because he's a backyard breeder and he wanted her to get pregnant by his Boerboel first, and he left her in the yard. He doesn't bring his animals in the house. He leaves them in the yard, gives them automatic feeders, and they fend for themselves. So when I found out Nala was pregnant, a few days before Mother's Day, I went and got her. Took her to my apartment. Now, mind you, I could have kept her in my apartment, but I live in an apartment. I have to climb 2 flights of steps every day. Y'all know I have bad back, really bad back, and a bad hip. So, but I couldn't allow him to keep my Nala pregnant because I knew if she gave birth in his backyard, those puppies would die. So fast forward, I've raised the puppies. They're healthy. They're 6 weeks old. They're almost ready to go. Ready to go. The agreement was, even before Nala got pregnant, because I thought this man was my homeboy, is, you know, since you helping me out, you know, you looking out for me as far as you keeping her and you know, whatever. I'll give you half the litter. No biggie. Right? So we had 10, now we have 8. So I promised him half the litter. So that means I owe him 4 puppies. Right? So that was the agreement. And this weekend, I made a video. I'm going to post the link under this video to go back on my word because of what this man said and did this weekend. Basically, and I'll just break it down real fast. This motherfucker called me yelling at me like I was one of his little trick crackhead bitches. Or his wife called me yelling at me, getting aggressive, talking about why doesn't he get the first pick and why doesn't he get the pick? If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't still have Nala, and just pretty much going off on me. And I'm like, niggas, are you all right? Are you all right? Who the fuck you talking to? Like, lower your voice. So then anyway, I broke it down. I'll show you in the video. I broke down a little analysis and I decided I'm not going to give him 4 puppies. He doesn't deserve half my litter. Technically, that was me being kind. And so I'll link the video so y'all can watch what I said. And I was saying I'm just going to give him 3 puppies, which is still quite generous. And break all ties with him. I'm done with him. Break all ties with him because I'm on some real positive shit these days for a very long time. And I don't want to associate myself and deal with someone that low vibrational, dealing with that much negative energy and that much hostility. So I've decided to break ties with E, my dog breeding partner. Plus, he said, and these were his words, I don't give a fuck about no motherfucking dogs and no motherfucking puppies. They died, it was God's will. They're just materials to me. You act like they fucking children. They just materials to me. That's why you lost. I said, you killed 2 fucking litters, E. That's fucked up. I didn't kill them. The mama killed them. I said, no, you killed them because it's your responsibility as the owner of those dogs to make sure those dogs were okay, and you didn't. Those 2 litters of babies died because of you. That's a fucked up thing to say. No, those are facts, motherfucker. So anyway, after what he said, not just the fact that he yelled and disrespected me, yelled at me, but the fact that he literally told me how he felt about dogs. I don't want to be in business, a partner to a backyard breeder. It's bad enough he's a backyard breeder, but he just explained to me Saturday afternoon exactly how much he gives a fuck about those poor innocent animals. I want nothing to do with him after this transaction is done. That being said, I came here, take a break real quick. I came here to say this. I'm looking for another partner. Male or female, preferably, I don't know, I'm not going to say preferably male. I'm looking for another dog hobby breeder business partner. Whether we take it to something bigger than a hobby breeder, we'll see how it goes. But I'm looking for someone else to be my other person. Now, I don't have a house. I don't own a house yet. I don't have a yard. The person has to have a house and a yard, someone that is able, someone who we can purchase a shed or some kennels and put them on his property in his yard or on his property. I will have my own property in my own house within the next year or year and a half. I am looking actively now to rent a home, leave the small apartment I'm in with Nala and her son, because I'm keeping one of her puppies, the pick of the litter. And I'm looking, my lease is up in August. I'm moving out of my apartment one way or another. If I gotta canvass every single I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna hire a real estate agent. But I'm going to get a house rental. I'm gonna find one at a decent price, because these prices, these fraudulent prices, I'm not paying. If you know of a house rental for under $1,700 a month, let me know, which is what they're supposed to be priced at. Actually, they're supposed to be lower than that. But these $2,700 and $3,000 a month rentals, that's ludicrous, that's insanity, and I'm not doing that. But somewhere out here, there's a house rental for around $1,600, $1,500, $1,700 with my name on it. I'm gonna find it. But until I do, I came here to ask if there's anyone out there that wants to be a partner with me in this little dog breeding business that I'm started. Please inbox me and let me know. Let's talk business, okay? I'm not gonna go into every detail here. If you're interested in doing dogs with me, big dogs with me, even little dogs, because I still got this Chihuahua. If you're interested in doing dogs with me and using, having a side hustle with me, serious business only. I'm not interested in no motherfucking relationship. I'm not interested in a man. I'm not interested in your dick. I'm not interested in your money. I'm talking about business partners. If you're interested, inbox me. Let's talk. Because I'm done. I cut my other partner off. I'm not fucking with him. I might keep my word and give him 4 puppies, and I might not. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna decide this week. I might just say, yo, fuck you. We'll see, because I'm really disgusted with him, and I'm really breaking all ties with him. So if you want to go into the dog business, start a little, hobby breeding program, hit me up, inbox me, because I'm looking for a new partner right now.